From Cairo to the world. One tournament captures the heart and soul of an entire continent. It's a festival of football, a celebration of culture, and a showcase of incredible talent. We're talking about the Africa Cup of Nations, or AFCON. But how did this continental showdown grow into the global spectacle it is today? From a humble beginning with just 3 teams to a powerhouse event watched by millions, the story of AFCON is as dramatic and thrilling as a last-minute goal. So grab your jersey, get ready to cheer, and let's dive into the vibrant history of Africa's greatest sporting events, all the way up to the exciting prospect of Morocco 2025. This is the journey of the Africa Cup of Nations. The dream of a Pan-African football competition began in 1956 during a FIFA Congress in Lisbon. Representatives from Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and South Africa met to establish the Confederation of African Football, or CAF. Their vision was clear: to unite the continent through the beautiful game. A year later, in 1957, that dream became a reality. The very first Africa Cup of Nations was held in Khartoum, Sudan. It was a small affair with only 3 teams participating. Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia were the pioneers. South Africa was originally scheduled to compete, but was disqualified due to their apartheid policies, a firm stance by CAF against racial segregation from its very inception. In that inaugural tournament, Egypt, led by the legendary Adiba, triumphed, scoring all 4 goals in a single match final to become the first African champions. A small start, but a giant leap for African football. The tournament quickly began to grow. For the second edition in 1959, the format was a simple round-robin with the same 3 founding nations. Hosted in Cairo, Egypt once again claimed the title on home soil. But the winds of change were blowing across Africa. As more nations gained independence throughout the 1960s, the tournament expanded. The 1962 edition in Ethiopia saw the number of participants in the final tournament grow to 4, with Tunisia and Uganda making their debuts. This time, the host nation Ethiopia lifted the trophy, creating a moment of immense national pride. By 1968, the tournament had grown to include 8 teams, introducing a group stage and knockout rounds, a format that would remain for decades. This expansion mirrored the continent's own journey of self-determination, with football becoming a powerful symbol of national identity and unity for newly independent countries. The 1970s and 80s were a golden era for many nations, with the trophy changing hands frequently, highlighting the growing competitiveness across the continent. This period saw the rise of legendary teams and players who would become icons. The Black Stars of Ghana, led by players like Ose Kofi, became a dominant force, winning the cup in 63-65, and again in 78 and 82. Nigeria's Green Eagles, with the likes of Chairman Christian Chukwu, captured their first title in 1980 on home soil in Lagos, sparking nationwide celebrations. Cameroon's indomitable Lions emerged as a powerhouse in the 80s, winning their first title in 1984 with stars like Theophile Abega and Roger Milla, who would later become a global superstar. The competition was fierce, the rivalries were intense, and the passion was undeniable. Each tournament told a new story, creating heroes and legends that are still celebrated today. The 1990s brought AFCON into the modern era and onto the global stage. In 1992, the tournament in Senegal saw the emergence of a magical Côte d'Ivoire team featuring the likes of Joel Tihi, who won the cup after an epic penalty shootout in the final against Ghana, an incredible 11-10 victory. Then, in 1994, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, with a golden generation including Rashidi Yekini, JJ Okocha and Sunday Elisa, stormed to victory in Tunisia. This was the team that would go on to captivate the world at the USA '94 World Cup. The tournament also expanded again in 1996, moving to 16 teams, hosted and won by a post-apartheid South Africa. The victory was a deeply symbolic moment of unity for the Rainbow Nation, with President Nelson Mandela famously sporting a Bafana Bafana jersey at the final. It was a powerful demonstration of how football could heal and unite a nation. The new millennium cemented AFCON status as a major international tournament, but it wasn't without its challenges. The early 2000s saw the rise of Cameroon's second wave of indomitable lions, with Samuel Eto'o and Patrick Mboma leading them to back-to-back titles in 2000 and 2002. This era also saw one of the tournament's most dominant dynasties, Egypt, led by the legendary coach Hassan Shehata, and a generation of stars like Mohamed Aboutrika, Essam El Hadary, and Ahmed Hassan. The Pharaohs achieved an unprecedented 3 consecutive titles in 2006, 2008, and 2010. Their tactical discipline and teamwork were simply unmatched. However, the tournament also faced logistical and political hurdles, with some editions being moved or co-hosted due to instability, proving the resilience of CAF and the host nations. In 2013, a significant change was made to the tournament's schedule. To avoid clashing with the FIFA World Cup year, and to prevent European clubs from being reluctant to release their African stars mid-season, CAF moved the tournament to odd-numbered years. The 2013 edition was won by Nigeria for a third time. This period also saw surprise victories that captured the underdog spirit of AFCON. In 2012, a determined Zambia team, driven by the memory of the 1993 plane crash that tragically claimed their national team, triumphed against all odds in a deeply emotional victory. Then, in 2017, a young and unfancied Cameroon side, written off by many, defied expectations to win their 5th title. These victories proved that in AFCON, passion and determination can triumph over star power, making it one of the most unpredictable and exciting competitions in world football. The latest chapter of AFCON history saw even more evolution. In 2019, the tournament expanded to 24 teams and was held in the summer for the first time, hosted by Egypt. Algeria, led by the brilliant Riyad Mahrez, lifted the trophy for the second time in their history. The tournament, delayed due to the global pandemic, returned to its winter slot for the 2021 edition, hosted in Cameroon. It was a spectacular event that saw Senegal, after decades of heartbreak and two previous final losses, finally win their first ever AFCON title. The image of Sadio Mane lifting the trophy was a historic moment for the entire nation. The most recent edition, held in Côte d'Ivoire in early 2024, delivered one of the most dramatic tournaments ever. The host nation, nearly eliminated in the group stage, staged an incredible comeback story, firing their coach mid and going on to win the final against Nigeria in a fairy tale ending. And now, all eyes turn to the future. The next edition of the Africa Cup of Nations is set to be hosted by Morocco in 2025, with its world-class stadiums, passionate fans, and a strong national team that recently made history as the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final. The stage is set for a truly spectacular tournament. Morocco 2025 promises to continue the legacy of AFCON, delivering more passion, drama, and unforgettable football moments. From its humble beginnings, with just 3 teams, to a 24-nation continental festival, the Africa Cup of Nations has grown into a powerful symbol of African unity, pride, and footballing excellence. It's more than just a game. It's the heartbeat of a continent. What are your favorite AFCON moments? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the world of football. See you next time.